We've known for quite a while that isometric exercises are very effective in increasing strength and, in many cases, size. We've known this intuitively for like thousands of years. The Greeks and the Romans knew it. The ancient Buddhist and Hindu yogis knew it. The Chinese martial artists knew it. They all knew it intuitively, but were never really able to prove it. That didn't come until the early 1920s, when at the end of World War I, many soldiers were coming back with horrific injuries that required them to spend a lot of time bedridden during their convalescence. And you know what happens when someone spends a lot of time immobile in bed? The muscles atrophy. Don't use the muscles and you lose the muscles. So researchers wanted to study how long it would take for these muscles to become useless and try to stave that off and work on some methods of rehabilitation so these soldiers can get up out of bed and, recover more quickly. So researchers at Springfield College in Massachusetts performed what's now known as the Springfield study or the frog study. And what they did was they took a bunch of frogs and they splinted one of their legs. So the leg was completely immobile. Kind of a gruesome study if you look at it in hindsight. But nevertheless, they took these frogs, splinted one of their legs, and then released them back into their enclosure. Now, at the end of 2 weeks, they expected the leg that was bound for those muscles to have atrophied, and they were ready to measure, the rate of atrophy and how long it would take to rehabilitate that leg once it was unbound. And to their shock and surprise, not only did the bound leg not get smaller, but it got bigger and stronger. It was bigger and stronger than the unbound leg, so much so that the frogs could no longer jump in a straight line. They would jump in a curve and had to relearn how to jump forward because that leg had gotten so strong in comparison to the other leg. We know now that the frog legs were pushing against that splint and they were doing isometric contractions. Unfortunately, the researchers at Springfield never really did much with this information. I'm assuming that they may have thought that the experiment failed, and nothing much was done until about 1950, when two researchers named Hettinger and Mueller at the Max Planck Institute in Germany came across the Springfield study and decided to try it on people. So they got 50 volunteers and put a removable cast on one of their arms. They took detailed measurements of the strength of the arm that was going to be bound and then bound it up for the entire day for 2 weeks. The only thing they did differently was that because the cast was removable, they took the cast off for 1 minute each day, and in that 1 minute, they did 3 or 4 isometric exercises. And that was it. 1 minute of isometric exercise in that arm that was bound with the cast for most of the day. Well, unsurprisingly, because they had read the Springfield research, at the end of a 2-week period, the arms got stronger and bigger than the ones that were not in the cast. So, do isometrics work? I think you can definitively say that yes, they do work. They will make you stronger. And the beauty of doing isometrics as a form of exercise is that you can incorporate them at any time during your life. You don't have to be young and strong. You can do isometric exercises well into your 80s and 90s and beyond if you're fortunate enough to get there. if you do almost any other kind of sport or exercise, there comes a time when you're going to have to put that aside. You don't see very many 80-year-old skateboarders or pole vaulters or sprinters. You see one or two, but for the most part, after a certain age, you realize that it's not a very smart thing to do to get on that skateboard or attempt a world record long jump or something. Whereas with certain activities like isometrics or walking, you can do this well into your golden years. That's why I like it so much. That's why I've been doing it for years, and I'm going to continue doing it for years. And I think that you should too. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.